All right, the last reason we get injured with exercise, or my final reason, is a lack of skill. All right, so exercise can be broken up into a whole spectrum of difficulties of movements. We can make exercises more difficult by adding things like heavier weights to them, or we can make exercises more difficult by adding things like speed or intensity to them, or we can make them more difficult sometimes by adding them into a more challenging environment, such as one where there's loud music and blaring lights, or a crowd screaming at you, or people that are, hoping for a certain outcome. But one of the critical ways that we're overlooking difficulty of exercise is the skill or complexity of the exercise. So there are movements that don't have weight involved that can be significantly more complex than another movement that doesn't have weight involved and can therefore be significantly more injurious. And a good example of this is something like a push-up is quite simple and hard to injure ourselves on, but a burpee is quite hard. It's quite complex. There's a lot going on with a burpee. There's a drop to the floor, there's velocity and speed, there's the bracing of the core so that you don't hyperextend your back, and then there's the pushing back out of it and jumping at the top. Very, very complicated movement that is often used in fitness and can be something that causes injury in a lot of people. And so the idea here is we need to pay attention when we look into an exercise program at how complex are the movements that I'm being asked to do at the stage that I'm at. If I'm a beginner and I've been sedentary for a long time, I should be focusing on the basics and getting really good at those, and then adding more complexity only after I've mastered the basics. It's kind of like going and starting a new job and being asked to do every job requirement on day one when you've just started and have never been trained. Like you're set up to fail. But what a good training plan will have is setting you up to master the basics early on and then layering complexity on each time that you've proven you're ready for more complexity. And so early on, this is actually a really common way people get injured, especially in group training programs such as CrossFit, boot camp, or high intensity interval training. So we just want to be wary of that. My next video is going to have a little explanation of CrossFit, boot camp, group exercise programs, and strength programs so we can understand the different risks associated with each program. Hope this was helpful.